Ta-da! Hello kids, welcome to another art lesson. Today, we're gonna learn about Cubism and modern art in general. There's classical art, which is really old, and also there is modern art. One of the most famous techniques in modern art is Cubism. Basically, Cubism is a style of art where we're trying to show a person or an object from all different angles at the same time. It's called Cubism because the shapes in our drawing will look a lot like basic geometrical forms. There are gonna be cubes, triangles, straight lines, perfect circles, or like half circles. So, since I know the nose looks like a triangle, I started drawing with a simple triangle for the nose. I'm gonna be drawing a face and the nose is at the center of a face. Then I'm drawing a half circle for the first eye, the right eye. For the pupil, I draw a diamond shape inside the eye. I'm gonna be drawing a couple of circles for the ear. And kids, this is the best part. For these kind of modern art drawings, you can draw anything, you can do anything you want. Just don't be afraid to experiment. That's what I'm doing. You don't have to draw exactly what I'm drawing. You can just draw whatever you want. Put your shapes anywhere on the paper. The eye can go there and the mouth can be here. So it doesn't matter. Just try to be creative and try to use simple geometrical shapes. Now I'm gonna start drawing the lips, and I'm gonna draw the lips looking from the front. Can you see what I'm doing here, kids? I bet you can. I'm drawing some parts of the face looking from the front and some parts looking from the side. And that's what Cubism is. Isn't it fun? If you look at my eyes, it's like I'm looking at the face from the front. But if you look at the head and the nose and the ear, it feels like I'm looking at the face from the side. Now it's time to add some details to my face. I'm gonna start drawing the eyelashes, and these are repetitive shapes. And where did we see repetitive shapes before? In our patterns drawing video. Yeah, if you didn't see that video, go ahead and watch where we learned about patterns, because we're using all this information that we learned from the previous lessons. We're using cubes because we used cubes in our perspective lessons, and now we're using repetitive shapes that forms patterns. Everything we learn, we use them in our art. Alright, I'm almost done with my drawing. I'm just gonna add the eyebrow and start filling in some parts with black. I'm gonna color inside the eyebrows with my black marker and maybe the pupils and maybe the nostril. And then I'm gonna start coloring my drawing with different markers. I'm totally free to use any color I want. And that's the best part of it. Once I start coloring, kids, the video will play a little faster. You can pause the video to match your colors with mine anytime and then keep watching. Or better yet, you can pick whatever color you want and color your drawing with those colors. Because it's all about your imagination and creativity. I like this face. How's your face looking, kids? I bet it's better than mine. But I like mine too. Alright, looking good. I'm gonna start with a really red for the lips. And while we're coloring, we can keep talking about Cubism and modern art in general. Question: who is the most famous Cubist in the world? I mean, who's the most famous Cubist painter in the world? Let me think about that for a second. Some of you may have already heard of him. The answer is Pablo Picasso. That's right. Picasso is the most famous Cubist painter in the world. And there we learned something new about art history. Like we never do that. The second most famous artist of the Cubism period is George Braque. And George Braque and Picasso sometimes, really, I don't know if they worked together. They definitely knew about each other. After all, they were doing the same style of art. And maybe they were even competing, but who cares? It's art. So, in short, Pablo Picasso and George Braque started Cubism. Pablo Picasso wasn't always a Cubist. When he was young, he was a classical painter. Picasso made so many paintings in his life, and then he started doing sculpture too, and also he experimented with the collage technique. You know collage, kids? I bet you do. I mean, you cut up some parts and pieces from magazines and newspapers, and then you glue them to a white piece of paper, and that becomes a collage. Why do you think Picasso experimented so much and tried different techniques over the years? I think there's a simple answer. He just got bored with the same stuff. So, he wanted to change his styles and techniques and the materials that he used over time. All of these new things in art was happening in France. France, at the time, was the heart of the art world. George Braque was French. Pablo Picasso was Spanish. But their art was universal. They inspired a future generation of artists for many, many years. And that's why art history is important, kids, because an artist finds something, creates something, finds a style, and then he passes it on to younger artists like yourself, and we improve in art and become great as human beings. So let's see, what are the other periods in modern art history? There's Expressionism, there's Impressionism, there's like Pointillism, and there's like abstract painting, and there's Dada. Yeah, you heard me right. There's an art period called Dada, but I just don't want to get into that because it's kind of weird. I really like this lesson, so maybe, who knows, I'll do another lesson for another art period in modern art history. Maybe we'll do pointillism. It's basically putting a bunch of points on a paper and painting like that. And ta-da! I like this drawing so much that I'm gonna sign it and put the date on the bottom. We love drawing and we love Cubism.